So, welcome to the first lecture in this module. By now we have already studied how to solve the truss system, how to calculate the member forces in a determinate truss system. Now we are interested in calculating the deflections in the trusses. So today's topic will be calculation of deflection in trusses. Okay, so how will you calculate? So we can use the concept of strain energy and Castigliano theorem. So how can we do it? Yes, let's say if this is a truss, okay, let's say this is some truss, okay. Let's say if this is a truss, then in all the members of a truss there is always axial forces are there. So in every member of this truss, let us say this is one of the member of this truss, then in this member there will be axial forces. Axial force must be there. Okay, so axial force may be compression or may be tension. It may be in compression or it may be in tension. Okay, either of the two, there is one will be there. Either there will be compression or there will be tension. So let's try to derive and let's solve for this one particular member. So now I am removing the 2 sign. I am saying that let us say in this member there is let us say in this member there is some this member is under tension and the tension force is P. Okay, so this is some force P which is applying a tensile nature, which is having a tensile nature for this member. So let's calculate the strain energy for this one member of the truss. So the strain energy is half into force into deflection. So what is the value of force? That is P. So half into P into delta. So if there is some deformation delta, then we know that value of delta is PL divided by AE. So we can put it here. So let's put it. So PL divided by AE. So the value will be P square L divided by 2AE. So this is the value of strain energy in one member of the truss. Okay. Now let us say this is a truss which have n number of members. So the strain energy in the whole truss will be summation of all the strain energy in every member. So it will be sum of strain energy right from the first member to the nth member. So Pi square Li Ai Pi. Okay, so this will be the strain energy for whole truss. Okay, now if you have strain energy, you can apply the Castigliano theorem to calculate the deflection. So Let's apply Castigliano here. So apply Castigliano's here. So it's the Castigliano's theorem says that if you have strain energy, and if you differentiate this strain energy with respect to any force F which is acting at any point A, okay, in the direction, let us say in the direction Y, or let us say in the direction M, okay, in the direction M, then you will get deflection at point A in the direction M. So this is what the Castigliano theorem says. So if somehow you will be able to calculate the strain energy in a truss, then you can simply differentiate the strain energy and you will get the deflection. So this is the basic concept and basic theory by whose help you can calculate the value of deflection in a truss system. So let's start solving. So find the deflection, find the horizontal deflection at C. Okay. So let's say this is some truss, okay, some determinate truss is there. One support is roller, another support is hinge. Let us say this is A, this is C, this is B. And there is some force is acting whose value is 20 kilonewton. So let us say the height is 3 meter, this is 4 meter, and this is 5 meter. So this is your basic question. Okay. Now deflection is required in the horizontal direction and at the point C. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the total strain energy. Okay. And you have to differentiate this total strain energy with respect to the force in the horizontal direction at C. At C, force in horizontal direction. But if you will see here, okay, if you will see here, there is no force in the horizontal direction at point C. So in such condition, what you have to do, even though there is no such force in the given question, you have to apply the force. You have to apply a pseudo force. You need to apply a pseudo force. So what is pseudo force? It is a force which do not exist. Okay, but you are applying. Why you are applying? Because you need to differentiate this strain energy with respect to P. Then only you can find the deflection. This is your problem. So you have to apply a pseudo force. Okay. Then only you can get this your required deflection. Okay. What do you require? Deflection at point C in the horizontal direction. So you need to apply the pseudo force. Okay. So let's say now you have applied. So what is the next step? you have to calculate the value of strain energy. So for calculating the value of strain energy, so strain energy in one member is PL divided by AE. So you need to calculate length. So length is given for every member, area is not given, E is not given, and you need to calculate the member force in every member of a truss. Okay, so let's say here, let's say that A is 600 mm square and capital E is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. So now you have every data is given. Okay, now you can start solving your problem. So I need to remove this. So let's start solving the problem. So in the first step you need to calculate the reaction. So let us say this is vertical reaction, this is another vertical reaction, and this is horizontal reaction. So let's start calculating. Let me apply the first equation, summation of forces in x direction 0. So what are the forces in x direction? That is P is acting in positive x direction, so positive P, and this HB in this direction, so minus HB is equal to 0. This will give the value of HB is equal to P. So now I have calculated the one reaction. Now let's calculate the value of VA and VB. So I am writing the equation, summation of moment at point B is 0, and sign convention I am adopting is clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative. So let's start writing the equation. So VA into perpendicular distance, that is 4. So VA into perpendicular distance 4, what is that direction? It is clockwise, so positive. Then come to here, so 20 kilonewton, perpendicular distance 4, what is the direction? Anti-clockwise, so minus 20 into 4. What else is there? P, perpendicular distance 3. What is the direction of moment? It is like this, clockwise, so positive P into 3. Okay, and these two forces are passing from the point P, so there will be zero contribution in this equation, so it's equal to 0. Now you can calculate the value of VA. This will be 3P plus, this will be 80 minus 3P divided by 4. So this is the value of VA. Then calculate the value of VB. So how will we calculate the total vertical forces divided minus VA? So what is the total vertical force? That is 20. So 20 minus 80 minus 3P divided by 4. So what will be the value? 80 minus 80, that will be positive 3P divided by 4. So now you have calculated all the values of reaction for a truss system. Okay, now we will start calculating the member force. So first, where should I jump? I can jump at joint A because there are 3 members and there are 3 forces, VA, AB and FAC. I can also observe that AB member is a zero member force, so I need not to calculate this value. I can reduce my calculation. I can apply the concept of zero member force. So now I have already calculated the one value without solving. Now let's jump and let's start solving that. At joint A, so this is a zero member, so does not matter. So what else was here? So this is VA. What is the value? 80 minus 3p by 4. So this was VA. Its value was 80 minus 3p divided by 4. This was B. And let us say this member was initially in a tension, so FA. So this is the initial condition of this joint A. Now apply the equation. Now I need to apply summation of forces in the vertical direction is 0, upward positive, downward negative. So let's apply this here. So both the forces are in upward direction, so FAC plus 80 minus 3p divided by 4 is equal to 0. So from here I can calculate the value of FAC. What will be its value? FAC will be minus, so 3p minus 80 divided by 4. So I have calculated the one value of this, one value of the member force. So let's go back to original question. This value I already said that this will be this is a zero member force. Now I have calculated this value. Now only this member is left. So how can I calculate? I can come to joint B. And let's apply the equation here. So at joint B, so apply the initial condition of joint B. So there is VA, also there is HB, and this is some force FBC. This is joint B. Now I have already calculated these values, so let me write the values. So HB was P, and what was the value of PB was 3p by 4. Now I can apply here the equation. So which equation I should apply? So if I will apply the summation of forces in x direction or y direction, both will give me answer. So I can use any equation. So I am going to apply this equation. Summation of forces in x direction is 0. This direction positive, this direction negative. This is my sign convention. So let's apply. Let us say this is some angle theta, and there will be a horizontal component of this force. So what will be the horizontal component? FBC cos theta. What is the direction that side? So which is negative. Then what else is there? HB, its value is P, the direction is this side, so minus P. So from here I can calculate the value of FBC, which is nothing but minus P divided by cos theta. So I can find the value of cos theta. What will be the value of cos theta? Let's go back here. So this is theta. So cos theta will be base divided by hypotenuse. What is base? 4 meter. Hypotenuse 5 meter. So I can put this value. So cos theta's value is 4 divided by 5. So F BC will be minus 5p by 4. Okay. So I have calculated another value. Okay. So I have calculated now all the values. So let me write it in a very simple form, so that our calculation will become easier. So let's say I am writing here member and force in the member, length of member, area of the member, and modulus of elasticity of the member. So our first member was AB, then AC, and then BC. So there were 3 members. It was a simple question. So let me start writing the values. So what was the value of AB? So AB values was 0. Okay. Then the value of, what was the value of AC? AC value was 3p minus 80 divided by 4. So this was 3p minus 80 divided by 4. And what was the value of BC? So it was minus 5p divided by 4. It was minus 5p divided by 4. So what were the length of these numbers? So AC was 3 meter, AB was 4 meter. So this was 4 meter, this was 3 meter, and this was 5 meter. What was the cross-sectional area of all the members? It was 600 mm square. 600 mm square. 600 mm square. What was the value of modulus of elasticity? It was 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. So these are the values, and you can use this value and you can calculate the strain energy. So let's calculate the strain energy. So let me use different ink. So what was the formula of strain energy of truss? Summation of P square L divided by 2AE. So A and E is constant, so I am not writing here right now. I will substitute them later. So P square for first member is 0, so no issues, we will get first term as 0. Then P in the member AC was 3p minus 80 divided by 4. So 3p minus 80 divided by 4 square. What was the length? 3 meter. So 3 meter, I am converting it in mm, divided by A into E, and then 2 for the second member AC. Then what was the third member? BC. So minus 5 by 4 P square, and length was 5 meter. So 5 again in terms of mm divided by 2 into A into E. Now I can solve this value and I can calculate it as one value. So let me write it. Let me write it in simple form. So it will be 9p square plus 80 square minus 6 into 80 divided by 16 into 2 into AE plus 25 by 16, and then here I forgot 3 into 10 to the power 3. So 25 into 5 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 2 into AE into P square. Then so it is 9p square into 3 into 10 to the power 3 plus 80 square into 3 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 32a divided by 32a then this will be 448 p into 3 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 32a, then this will be 25 into 5 into 10 to the power 3 p square divided by 32 AE. Then further solving this, so this is a p square term, this is a p square term, I can club them, so it is 125 plus 9 into 3 divided by 32, it is 4.75 p square divided by AE. Then I am writing this term, so it will be 48 into 3, this is 48 into 3 divided by 32, so it is 4.5 p divided by AE plus, and I am writing this term, so it is again it has to be multiplied by 10 to the power 3, so 80 square multiplied by 3 divided by 32, so this is 600 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 8. So this is your strain energy, and now you need to differentiate. This is your strain energy, and you need to differentiate it with respect to P. Let's differentiate it, so it will be 2 2 into 4.75 P into 10 to the power 3 AE plus 4.5 into 10 to the power 3 AE, and there is no involvement of the term P, so it will be 0. Okay. Now let's see here that you have this term P, and which is a pseudo force. So what was the pseudo force? It was a imaginary force that never existed in the given fashion, but you took this value P because you wanted to differentiate the whole strain energy with respect to P. Brought this P in all the calculations. So the value of P was actually 0. Okay. So now you can put the value of P is equal to 0, and this term will also disappear. Okay. So only this term will be left. So this term will basically giving your du by dt. So let's see here. I have already. So this will be nothing but your du by dp, and which is nothing but deflection at c in the horizontal direction. So you can put the value of a and e, and then you can substitute it in the given fraction, and you will get the value. I have multiplied here by 10 with 10 to the power 3 because this value was in terms of kilonewton. Okay, so I have converted it in terms of Newton, and I am getting this value of deflection. So this is all about today's class. I hope this is helpful for you. We'll meet in the next section. Thank you.